Tonight on our Great American Panel, he's the Communications Director for American Crossroads. Republican strategist Jonathan Coleggio is here. She's the editor of Citizen Jane Politics, and a contributor to the Daily Beast, Patricia Murphy, joins us, and a columnist for Newsmax and author of Outnumbered, Jedediah Bila, also joins us. Coming up, reindeer methane. I've been in this business a long time and I've never had cause to use that phrase before, but we're going to tonight. But first, Jonathan has a brilliant political ad just out. Take a look at this.
And now, great moments in presidential history. Barack Obama.
I would put our legislative and foreign policy accomplishments in our first 2 years against any president, with the possible exceptions of Johnson, FDR, and Lincoln.
Yes, next to Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Johnson stands Barack Obama, America's fourth greatest president. 13 million out of work, 15 trillion in debt, and 34 straight months of unemployment above 8%.
You definitely have some impressive accomplishments.
Thank you, Steve.
No, thank you, Mr. President.
Who's that snotty Masterpiece Theatre guy you got to do the voiceover job?
Well, that was actually you, Mark.
Really?
Yeah.
Stuart Varney's mad about it. He could have used the work. So, you know, what do you make of it? What do you make of that? That's a great fun.
I think it's a great ad because it uses Obama's words maybe against him, and if he is ranking himself fourth behind Johnson, you have to think in the real world he's maybe 9th or 10th. It's also a nice way to slip in some numbers that Republicans obviously want to hammer him with the unemployment numbers and the dissatisfaction numbers. So it's actually, I think, a very, very effective ad.
I'm always going in two minds, Jedediah, about wit in politics, because the consultants will tell you, no, you've got to hammer a clear, straight, simple message over the head. And sometimes this stuff doesn't work for you. How do you think this one?
I thought it was fabulous. This is my favorite ad of the year by far. I think stuff that makes you laugh and makes you think at the same time. And also, I think it grabs onto our youth a little bit. I think young people love to laugh and love to be entertained. And if they can do that while you're hitting home some important facts, the only thing you left out was Obamacare, which is headed to the Supreme Court.
Right.
So I think that would be it. I don't know how you fit all his missteps into 1 minute. That was pretty good.
And there's actually a little bit that Stuart Varney or I, we didn't show on that clip, but we begin by talking about George Washington. All he did was the father of the country.
Right.
And John F. Kennedy, and then Ronald Reagan, all he did was win the Cold War. And then we get to, but they're just like losers in the lower reaches of the top 20, or maybe the basement of the top 40. Who's keeping track?
But again, for a man known for audacity, putting yourself fourth, again, behind Johnson, not the most audacious statement in the entire world.
Right.
So give Obama a little bit of credit.
There were a lot of people that were very outraged when he had said those things to Steve Croft. And we just kind of felt like, I mean, there's so much. First of all, the fodder that's in that ad, there is much more of that. And when I actually released it to reporters today, I said it was going to be the first in a line of ads that we're going to be doing in that theme, because there is so much out there, and we thought it would be fun if the president really thinks that he's the fourth greatest in American history. Well, let's see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Let's put him behind.
But the unemployment numbers are ticking down. I think he's running into a little bit of a good phase with economic input, so we'll sort of see how your ads go from here.
CNN chose to concentrate on the important news of the day today, not your ad. They are going after the carbon footprint of Santa Claus. It's outrageous what that guy gets away with. Let's take a look at it.
If you then add up the emissions from Santa's grotto, all those lights, and let's not forget, of course, the reindeers who produce quite a bit of methane. Dear old Rudolph may have a red nose, but he also can be quite windy as he goes around the world. And, of course, if we're talking carbon, there's lumps of coal for the boys and the girls who haven't been good this year. You're starting to get the idea that Santa is maybe not as environmentally friendly as we would like.
Reindeer flatulence. CNN's on top of the critical list.
I don't know. Has Santa been riding around in Al Gore's private jet? Is that part of the reason this is happening? I mean, that could be. You know, we laugh at this, and it's funny, but I was a teacher for a long time. I worked in schools. Don't think they don't use this stuff to try to interest kids and capture their attention. All of a sudden, it becomes an assignment on global warming and whatnot. This is how they do this stuff.
Oh, come on.
Oh, it happens.
Although I'm here to defend Santa Claus. That is 100% renewable energy. We know that about the reindeer. And how many people are not burning in their fireplaces because he has to get down the chimney?
Right.
So I'm here to defend No, I don't think it is some sort of covert
Everybody
operation.
knows that the display is powered by the northern lights, you know. I mean, that's no emission.
And actually,
Right.
with all the global warming, let's face it, the North Pole, the whole pole's going to melt, and Santa and his grotto and all the elves will drown. That's the good one. That's the great news. So you won't be able to destroy the environment anymore. This is the joylessness of liberalism on the eve of Christmas in a nutshell. We'll have more with our Great American Panel. When I was here a couple of months ago, Sean tried to teach me how to throw this ball in a manly American way instead of my panty-waist milk-toast girly boy way, and I couldn't manage it, so I brought along my trusty Afghan cricket bat. More in a minute on our Great American Panel, up next on Hannity.
That kind of works. Fabulous.